Hello! So it is officially day 0 of our 100-day program. So today you're going to have the opportunity to start to think about what is it that you want to achieve over the next 100 days. I'm not into like SMART goals and stuff like that. I kind of want us to think a little bit differently, and I'll talk a little bit more about that in a moment. Okay, and then you're going to have the opportunity to set some of your first actions that you're going to start working on every single day. So you should have all received an email from me today, and in that email you would have had 2 links for the worksheet that I used when I was doing my 100 days, and I've sent it over in 2 formats. I've sent it in a PDF for those of you that want to print it out and colour in your squares each day. I found that really helpful, because as I coloured them in, it became quite obvious what ones I was doing, which ones I wasn't doing. So, and also I think there's something quite tangible about actually filling it in by hand every single day. However, if you want to do it online, if you haven't got a printer or something like that, there is also an editable version there for you as well, and that's completely up to you how you choose to do it. It's a really, really simple document. If you open it up, at the top it's got what is it you want to achieve over the 100 days, and there's 3 steps in there. If you want to put more in, that's absolutely fine. And then under that it is the actions that you're going to take, and you've got the days going across up to 100 on I think 5 different worksheets. So really simple document, but it gives you somewhere to actually go in and record your data and then report against each day's activity. So there was also, as I said yesterday in the welcome video, something I want us to do when setting our little activities each day is to think about our needs as human beings, and to think about self-care, but to think about all aspects of self-care. So yes, physical self-care is important, but so is emotional self-care, so is psychological self-care, and also spiritual self-care. So in that email I sent you, there's also a document in there that talks a little bit more about self-care, but also gives you some ideas of different things that you can start incorporating into your daily routines on a daily basis. It's just a pointer. Again, if you've got things that you want to do, that's absolutely fine. I don't want to dictate to you what goes on your list, but as I've previously said, we've got a long time that we're going to be working together, 100 days. You know, this isn't a sprint. Let's start out by getting some of those foundations in place, because that's going to start to build your confidence and build your trust. You know, there's nothing better than actually getting to the end of the day and having done those activities, but done them because where they haven't been too painful for us. If you're getting to the end of your day and you're doing them just before you go to bed, chances are you just need to look at that a little bit and review that. And that is what this whole process is about. This process is about setting yourself up to actually win, to actually feel like you are nourishing and caring for your body in a healthy way. I know that you've probably got old ways in which you've approached things, and we need to try and just put that aside for a moment and not go into writing loads and loads and loads of actions in the first day that you're going to do, only to sustain them for a few days and find them too hard, and then you're back in that cycle. And I'm sure you've all got lots of evidence that supports that. So kind of just trust me on this one. Trust me when you're setting those actions. I've got 2 actions that I'm going to be working on this week. One is a commitment to get out walking every single day. I'm going to aim for 10 or 12,000 miles. It's something that has slipped. Gary walks the dogs every morning now, so I've got no real reason to go out, but that's something that I'm going to work on. And the other one is my water. So I'm only putting 2 things on my list. So just think about that, you know, and you can add to them once you're doing those things consistently. So think about the foundations, you know, things like your sleep, your water intake, and your movement. You know, and food and looking at that can come at a later point, but start to get some nice foundation self-care activities going first, so you're starting to feel better, because when we start to feel better, that builds our confidence. Then we can start looking at other things as we go through the 100 days. Hopefully that makes sense. So the first thing I want you to do is I want you to think about what is it you want to achieve from this program. Okay, and you might automatically start to think about, oh, I want to lose a stone, or I want to be running 5k, and they're absolutely fine. But what I want you to do is look behind those actions. You know, what will they give you? So I want you to start thinking more about the sort of why you want to do them. So for me, this 100 days for me is going to be about sort of my movement. You know, it's something I've really not been focusing on. The last 100 days I did was very much about incorporating a bit of that, but also getting some good emotional self-care stuff going as well. You know, we've all had a bit of a crap year. There was some stuff coming up for me. I was experiencing some anxiety, so I started to introduce some stuff that was going to work and help with that. My focus for the next 100 days is going to be starting to focus more on my physical self, so moving more, but I know I need to start with things that are not going to overwhelm me. So for me, the 3 things I want to achieve over this coming 100 days is firstly to feel better. Secondly is going to be I keep breaking the promises I make myself, certainly in the physical, the movement stuff. I keep saying I'm going to exercise and I don't do it. So I totally get that mindset, that being in that mindset. So for me, one of the biggest reasons I want to commit to this is to build that trust in myself, to stop letting myself down, to actually set my actions at a level where I do them and I actually start to feel the benefits of doing them. So that's a really important outcome for me. And the other one is consistency. I know when I'm consistent, I know when I build in these times through the day, when I'm doing these activities, I feel better. So they're kind of interlinked, but they're my three goals that I want to achieve. So it's not specific. It's not I want to lose a stone or I want to be walking 5K. That doesn't matter to me. That will come. If I get these basic things in place, I know that will come. So that's the first thing I want you to do. I want you to sit down, really think about what you want to achieve over the next 100 days, and then kind of just look behind that a little bit and see what that really means for you. Because I know if I get to the end of the 100 days and I'm feeling better, I'm doing what I say I'm going to do, and I'm consistent with that, I know that's setting really good foundations for what's to come. So any questions on that, just let me know, okay? The second part of this little planning exercise is to then think about, bearing in mind the 4 pillars of self-care, so physical, emotional, psychological and spiritual self-care. Start to think about what small actions you're going to set yourself to do every single day. So remember, this is something that you're going to be doing every single day. So they need to be realistic. You need to think about what time are you prepared to commit to this. You know, so there is none of this like writing loads of things down that are going to take hours of your day that are just not going to happen. And one of the actions on your list might be to commit to coming into this group every single day and doing the work. You know, so it's like that's a really nice self-care activity where you're making this commitment to yourself and you're going to put 5 or 10 minutes every single day to come in and engage with the group, do the exercise and then show up for yourself. So that is today's activity. So think about what is it you want to achieve over the 100 days, but not so much the over obvious stuff, the stuff that's really, really going to make you feel better. Okay. And then set your actions. Like I say, I've only got 2 on mine for the next few days because actually they are a challenge for me. Drinking my water and getting out every single day is a bit of a challenge for me. So that is going to be my focus. I'm not going to stretch myself. If I can do a week of that, I know that I'm going to start to feel better. And then next week I might start to introduce some other things. So I'm going to really pull back to basics and set myself 2 actions that I know are going to be a challenge for me, so I'm not going to overwhelm myself by expecting myself to do lots of other things as well. So once you've done that, I'd love for you to share that in the group. Either if you've printed things out and you're colouring them in or you're writing them down, take a photograph and pop it in the group. If you've done it online, if you can take a photo of the screen and share that in the group, because I really want to see what some of your actions and stuff are as well, so I can share your journey and what you're focusing on. I think that's all I need to say. So just kind of recapping, the exercise that you did yesterday about what's going on in your life at the moment is going to be a really helpful guide for now moving on to doing this. So hopefully from doing that exercise yesterday, that's giving you some more to think about. So when you start to think about what is it you want to achieve over these 100 days and what little actions need to happen, you might want to align them with some of those areas in your life. Again, I'm not here to dictate to you. I'll have a look. Once you start posting your goals, I'll have a little look, and I might just be curious and pop some of my own thoughts about some of that stuff. So hopefully that's okay. So yeah, think about what you want to achieve. Set your first actions, and that's what you're going to be. If you can focus on them today, that's great. I'm going to put every day there'll be a post going into the group at 1 minute past midnight, and that will be your post. So it'll be day one tomorrow. If you don't do the actions today, you know, still report against the day and write your reasons for not doing it. But you know, there's no reason. You know, it's the morning. I'm sure you'll be able to tick some of those off your list by the time you go to bed this evening. So hopefully that's clear. If you've got any questions, sorry, the sun has shifted and I've gone a bit dark. If you've got any questions on this exercise, then message me. I will kind of send you all private messages just to make sure you're okay with what has been asked of you. And training, I'm going to do a weekly training. So I'm just going to shut my blind. It's gone really dark. I'm going to be doing a weekly training, and that will go into the group every Thursday. So it's kind of more towards the weekend. So you'll have a little bit of time to actually catch up and have a read of that. There'll be a video, there'll be a bit of text, and there'll be some exercises for you to do. I'm going to pitch it at the moment that we do one training a week because I don't want to overwhelm you. I'm conscious, you know, that is part of this process, and part of the reasons why we sabotage is a time thing. So every day you're going to have to come into the group and give us an update on how you're doing. And then on a Thursday, there will be a training for you to get involved in. Okay? Look forward to seeing all your goals and actions.